Thank you all. I'll have an opening comment and then I will take your questions. Nous croyons profondément, comme parti, les néo-démocrates croient profondément qu'on doit prendre soin les uns des autres. Ça, c'est nos valeurs. On veut prendre soin de nos voisins. Ça, c'est une valeur canadienne, ça, c'est une valeur québécoise. Et on croit profondément aussi que tout le monde doit avoir la capacité, l'opportunité de trouver un emploi où on peut acheter ou faire l'épicerie, on peut trouver du logement abordable, on peut créer une bonne vie pour eux-mêmes ou pour votre famille. Mais malheureusement, ce n'est pas le cas maintenant. Maintenant, on a entendu des histoires depuis longtemps que cet rêve n'est pas là. La réalité, c'est que c'est impossible de rejoindre les deux bouts. C'est vraiment difficile à faire l'épicerie, de trouver du logement abordable. Et c'est aussi clair que Justin Trudeau a laissé les grandes entreprises d'épicerie, les géants de l'immobilier, et de laisser ces entreprises de vous arnaquer. Et maintenant, vous payez les prix. Donc, les gens me disent qu'ils sont finis avec les libéraux et Justin Trudeau. Ils sont tannés, ils sont finis avec Justin Trudeau et les libéraux. Mais je veux aussi dire que ce que Pierre Poilievre et les conservateurs proposent va empirer les choses. Ils proposent de couper les services dont vous avez besoin, couper les pensions, couper les soins de santé. Donc, ça va empirer les choses. Et ce qu'on a entendu quand on a parlé avec notre équipe pendant ces 2 jours, on a parlé du fait que les gens ont besoin d'espoir. Et c'est exactement ce qu'on veut faire. On veut ramener l'espoir pour les gens. Donc, ça veut dire, dans la prochaine session, nos priorités vont être le fait qu'on veut bâtir du logement abordable pour les gens. On veut réduire les prix de vos factures quand vous faites l'épicerie. On veut régler notre système de santé. Et en plus, on va continuer de se battre pour la justice, pour la communauté autochtone. On va continuer de faire face à la crise climatique et créer des bons emplois pour les gens en faisant face à cette crise. Ça, c'est notre vision pour le pays. En même temps, les conservateurs proposent une vision divisive de détruire les systèmes, détruire les programmes dont vous avez besoin. Notre vision, c'était ramener l'espoir. Et on va faire tout ce qu'on peut pour réaliser cette vision dans la prochaine session. I'll do that again in English and then I look forward to your questions. New Democrats believe fundamentally that we need to take care of one another, that we are better off when we take care of each other, and that Canadians and Quebecers want to take care of their neighbors. That is a Canadian value, that is a Quebec value. So we believe that you should be able to have a good job, that Canadians across this country, wherever you live, you should be able to find a good job that pays a good salary, that allows you to find a home that you can afford, to be able to put food on the table, to support yourself and your family, to build a good life in this country. But sadly, that is not the way things are right now. We hear from people again and again over these past couple of years how hard it is to buy groceries, how hard it is to find a place to call your own. The cost of housing is so high. People are feeling really let down. And they know that Justin Trudeau has let big corporate giants, corporate grocery stores, corporate landlords, he's let them rip you off and people are paying the price. He has not met the urgency of the times. And so people are fed up with Justin Trudeau and the Liberals. They are done with Justin Trudeau and the Liberals. But let's also be very clear about the vision being offered by Pierre Poilievre. What he is offering is a vision of destroying the things that you believe in. He wants to destroy our universal healthcare system. He wants to cut pensions. He wants to cut the help that people need. He would take things from bad to worse. That is what he is offering as a vision. And he is not going to stop his corporate buddies from ripping you off when you buy your groceries. He's not going to stop corporate landlords from jacking up your rent. So after speaking with our team for the past couple of days, we've really come to this strong desire that Canadians have for hope. And we want to bring that hope to Canadians. We want to restore that hope. So in the next parliamentary session, our priorities are going to be to build homes that people can afford, to lower the price of your groceries, and to fix our healthcare system. In addition, we're going to always continue to fight to make sure there's justice for Indigenous people and that we are fighting the climate crisis and creating good jobs that allow you to build a life. That's our vision for the next parliamentary session. Those are our priorities. With that, I'm ready for any questions you might have. Je suis prêt pour vos questions.
Les chambres de commerce demandent au gouvernement d'intervenir avant même que l'arrêt de travail commence. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez de l'idée? Et si le gouvernement va de l'avant avec ça, comment ça va affecter votre confiance en la Ligue?
Comme on a vu dans le passé avec la décision que le gouvernement a prise avec les travailleurs de rail, ils ont choisi, le gouvernement, les libéraux, Justin Trudeau a choisi encore de défendre les profits des grandes entreprises au lieu de défendre les travailleurs. Et dans ce cas, notre position est claire. On est pour les travailleurs. On dit que le gouvernement ne doit pas ingérer dans une négociation entre les travailleurs et l'entreprise. Mais malheureusement, Justin Trudeau et les libéraux, et même les conservateurs, les deux ont un bilan où ils toujours ingèrent et favorisent les grandes entreprises, et ça fait mal aux travailleurs. Donc, on rejette la proposition qui était proposée. Notre position, c'est qu'on doit laisser les travailleurs négocier en bonne foi avec l'entreprise. Et on a déjà vu que l'entreprise Air Canada est en train ils ont menacé un lockout au lieu de laisser les travailleurs faire ce qu'il faut.
Et la confiance avec le gouvernement, est-ce que ça va faire tomber votre confiance envers le gouvernement?
C'est un autre exemple. Ce que ça va être, c'est un autre exemple du gouvernement libéral et de Justin Trudeau qui favorise les grandes entreprises au lieu des travailleurs.
Picking up on my colleague's question,
Yeah.
so what would you do if the federal government does intervene in this labor dispute as they did with the rail work stoppage?
So we're going to do everything we can to fight back. We're going to send a clear message again that we are opposed to Justin Trudeau and the Liberals or any government interfering with workers. We're opposed to that. We're going to fight back. If there's any bills being proposed on back-to-work legislation, we're going to oppose that. We're going to fight back against that. We're never going to support back-to-work. Unlike Pierre Poilievre, who likes to cosplay, likes to put on a costume as if he cares about workers, but the reality is he voted to send workers back to work, basically undermining their right to strike, undermining their ability to get a freely and fairly negotiated contract, undermining workers 8 times, just himself. He voted 8 times to force workers back to work. This is someone with a proven track record of hurting workers, of opposing workers' interests. So let's be clear, New Democrats are the only allies for working people that will always stand resolute in favor of workers, and we will never support back-to-work legislation.
But would back-to-work legislation be a red line for your confidence in the government?
Well, I said this to Justin Trudeau, years ago when I was fighting to force Justin Trudeau and the Liberals to deliver things like dental care, that if you ever make back-to-work legislation a confidence vote, we will always vote against that. So you can never count on our support. Whatever you say, you want to make it a confidence vote, make it one. We're still going to vote against it because we oppose undermining working people.
Today, Canada's Council General from New York, Clark is going to be testifying about his condo. The Conservatives have said that they would fire him. What would they do?
Well, let's be really clear. This is about the Liberal Party, Justin Trudeau's party, wanting fancy things for their friends while Canadians can't even afford a home. That's what this is all about. And we've seen that again and again. We've seen it with Liberals and with Conservatives. And we want to make sure that we're being very prudent and responsible with the way we spend our federal and public money.
And just broadly on parliamentary committees, the NDP have been kind of supporting the Liberals in committee dynamics when the deal was in place. Heading into this parliament, what should we expect in terms of the NDP's plans and strategy in parliamentary committees?
All bets are off. We've torn up the agreement with the Liberals. That means they can expect no help and no support from us. Anything that happens in Parliament will be based on is it in the best interest of Canadians. We'll be fighting to find ways to get more relief for Canadians, to get more help to Canadians. That's what we're going to be focused on. And we will use every tool we can to try to get more relief for Canadians.
You mentioned grocery prices as a priority a few times. Previously, your call for price caps has been dismissed as unworkable by Mr. Champagne, the minister, who's on that file. What exactly are you proposing and how would it work?
Well, the price cap idea is something that Ms. Weber is an economist, well-established, who came out with this idea in the first place. It's basically taking on corporate greed in a direct way. We know that when people go to the grocery stores, they are feeling squeezed. We also know these corporate grocery stores have their own in-house brands, and they set prices all the time. They bragged about freezing prices. They can absolutely set prices. And so we're saying, instead of asking them nicely and hoping that they're going to bring down prices, as the Liberals tried to do, as Justin Trudeau tried to do, he brought the CEOs and said, please, can you stabilize prices? That didn't work. We had his minister, Justin Trudeau's minister, come out and I don't understand how he could have said this with a straight face, but told Canadians they should do a better job of looking at grocery flyers as a way to lower prices for groceries, which was ridiculous and frankly insulting as well. And we're saying, no, none of that's going to work. What we need to do is impose a price cap. We can look at France as an example. They were able to lower the price of 5,000 essential food items, and our price cap would be the following. We look at essential food items, impose a price cap that you cannot charge more than a reasonable amount on these food essentials. That would immediately give Canadians relief when it comes to their groceries.
Bonjour, Mélanie Crête de la presse. Quelle sera votre stratégie pour la reprise des travaux parlementaires? Je crois qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui pensent que même si vous avez déchiré l'entente avec les libéraux, vous bloquez.
Non, pas du tout. Ce qu'on a dit, c'est le fait qu'on a déchiré l'entente avec Justin Trudeau et les libéraux. On sait que ça a mis en question la date d'élection. Et on va prendre chaque vote, chaque motion au sérieux et décider comment on va voter basé sur c'est quoi dans l'intérêt des Canadiens. On est prêt de voter dans l'intérêt des Canadiens pour chaque vote.
Sir Poilievre wants a carbon tax election because he's running on scrapping the consumer carbon price. Can you state clearly what your party's position is? If you form government, what will you do to the consumer carbon tax?
Well, let's also be clear about Pierre Poilievre's position. He wants to have free reign for big polluters to pollute as much as they want. His plan is to say there should be no penalty if a company pollutes into the river or into the water or into the air in their communities. So that's his plan. He wants big polluters to do whatever they want, no rules for them. We're saying that they should be paying their fair share. A company that pollutes and poisons the environment, there should be a price on that. There should be a cost to that. They shouldn't be able to get away with poisoning our air or water or land without any penalty at all. That's what Pierre Poilievre is proposing. When it comes to workers, though, we disagree with the approach of Justin Trudeau, who's tried to pit workers against each other. He set up a scenario where in certain regions, based on electoral politics, he's giving advantages to the Atlantic provinces over other parts of the country. We disagree with that. I've came out very strongly opposed to that approach. We want to see an approach to fighting the climate crisis where it doesn't put the burden on the backs of working people, where big polluters have to pay their fair share, they have to pay the price of their pollution, but it shouldn't be on working people's shoulders. And so we've been working on a plan, and we'll be releasing our plan, our vision for how we can do that in a stronger way in the coming months.
Will the plan include a consumer carbon tax?
Well, we'll let you know when the plan is ready, and we'll let you know more details about it.
Hi, Mr. Singh, David Berry from CBC News. I'm going to ask you a question about foreign interference here. Given the revelations last week of the U.S. indictments, what role do you think Russian propaganda may have played in the 2021 Canadian election? And what must be done to prevent this Moscow-funded misinformation from meddling with Canadian politics?
I think this is something we have to take very seriously. And we've known in general of the real threat of misinformation, but specifically foreign interference in Canada. There's been numerous examples of it. We've fought and forced the government to bring in place a public inquiry on this because it's very serious. We take it seriously. To remind folks, the Conservatives initially wanted it to be a political game in committee, and we said this is not about brinksmanship, this is not about fighting political and scoring political points, this is about ensuring that our democracy is protected. That's been our position on this, and it remains our position. We believe that foreign interference is so serious that it should be taken with that same level of seriousness, and we need to see a real thorough investigation by the public inquiry. We want to hear those recommendations, and we want to see those recommendations, actions taken on them to ensure that we protect our democracy from foreign interference, whether it's directly getting involved in the political process or whether it's misinformation. I think it's an important additional concern that Canadians should have, that we don't want foreign governments purposely spreading misinformation as a way to skew the outcome of our electoral politics. Like, that's also deeply troubling. And that's something that we should continue to look into, and then we should also be very quick to implement the changes that are recommended.
En tant qu'élu de la Chambre des communes, chef de parti, est-ce que vous
Donc, j'ai dit que pour chaque vote, c'est clair que notre position, c'était qu'on ne peut pas continuer dans l'entente, on a déchiré l'entente. Ça, c'est parce que j'ai donné plusieurs exemples que je crois que Justin Trudeau et les libéraux sont trop faibles et trop proches des ultra-riches pour faire ce qu'il faut. Donc, ça, c'est pourquoi j'ai déchiré l'entente. Je pense que ça présente notre opinion de ce qu'ils ont fait. Ça, c'est pourquoi on a déchiré l'entente. Pour chaque vote, on a dit qu'on va réfléchir sur chaque vote et on va prendre une décision qui est dans l'intérêt des Canadiens.
C'est maintenant, en ce moment, au moment où on se parle, est-ce que vous avez confiance en le gouvernement? Ça fait 30 et plus fois que vous refusez de répondre.
J'ai dit que je ne crois pas que les libéraux ont le courage pour faire face aux grandes entreprises qui arnaquent les gens. J'ai dit que je pense que les libéraux sont trop faibles pour faire face aux conservateurs de Pierre Poilievre et la coupure qu'ils proposent. Je pense qu'ils sont trop faibles. Et ça, c'est pourquoi j'ai déchiré l'entente. Et on va continuer de se battre pour les gens. Merci, thank you. Merci, thank you.